alles klar, Harry Kane ist wunderbar. That's right, Bundesliga match number 2 around the corner, and my picks are too. Video today. We're taking a match number 2 over in Deutschland. That's right, joining Harry Kane and co over in La Bundesliga. We'll get to that in a second. Of course, if you're new, where you been, smash your subscribe button. Bang. All things Bundesliga related, Blackburn Rovers related, world football related. We're going to all hear boys under one roof. He's up and running, isn't he? Harry Kane getting his first goal in Germany, of course, and that silverware is coming at you this coming season. We'll see, Harry. We'll see. We'll get to him and more in a second. Of course, if you're new, of course, make sure you check out the old descriptions down below. Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and a big shout out to my VIPs. They are the patrons, of course. But anyway, before you get going, make sure you hit that thumbs up and, of course, smash the old subscribe. So let's take a little look back at match number 8 over in Deutschland, of course. And here are those games. That's right. Bayern, 4-0 demolition job of Werder. I went with a 2-0. Playing it safe, I was. 4-0 win in my eyes. Meanwhile, Leverkusen 3-2 win over Leipzig. Not too shabby there. I went with a 2-1 win myself. Wolfsburg 2-0 win over Heidenheim. I went with a 1-0 win myself. Freiburg 2-1 away day win over Hoffenheim. Well done to them, I guess. My boys opened up with a 4-4 thriller, 8-goal bonanza. Of course, I went with a 2-1 win myself. Stuttgart 5-0 demolition job of Bochum. 2-0 win in my eyes. Dortmund 1-0 win over Köln, not too shabby. 3-0 win for me. I went with a 1-0 win over Mainz, 4-1 for them. And Eintracht Frankfurt, 1-0 win over Darmstadt, 2-1 win in my eyes. But look, I have had a sneaky peek look at the old SuperBru, and I didn't do great in regards to scores, but I did do okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of the 9 picks. If I put on a stupid accumulator, I will be rolling in it. Of course, who is rolling in it right now is Stuttgart rolling in it, top of the table with their goal difference, Bayern, Union Berlin, and Wolfsburg. This is going to be a tasty looking league. And of course, a great chance for Harry Kane. That's right. This is, of course, the link to the SuperBru. Ignore that. It should say something else. I will put the real link in the description down below. If not, we'll see it at the end of the show. I thought I changed it, but it's not that. Ignore it, but there is a link in the description. So get involved about it. And of course, let's talk about this super brewage right here, right now, and jump into the vortex and have a look at what we're talking about, guys. Here it is. Make it big, she says. So far, we'll have a look at the round results. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Sasaki smashed it. But if we look to results, I must have the best. Where am I? I'm on like 12 or something. 4 results. I'm gonna have a little look at myself. Sorry about this. I want to have a quick look at me. Can I look at me? Pick 2-1. I get a 1.5 as a close. Oh, that's how we look at everybody's. Interesting. I don't really want to look into this. This is too messy for me. Not the good messy either. Can I go backwards? How do I go backwards? Let's go back. Let's get back onto it. Let's get back on track here, guys. Yeah. Anyway, regardless about that, I'm not going to question the method to the magic. But Saki is a fantastic 15 points. Alex went up there as well in the yellow jersey. Early doors, though. It's early doors, so don't get too excited, guys. Don't get too excited. We, of course, will be back next week. And so far, so good. We have 28, at least 28 in the league. There's still plenty of time for you guys to get involved right here, right now. So let's get cracking with the next one now, of course. And I'm looking forward to these games just like I was the last ones. So let's get into it. Kicking off on Freitag, August, the 25th of August. That's right, at the Red Bull Arena. These two sides looking horns for the 11th time in the previous 10. This is since 2017, might I add. 8 wins for Leipzig. We've got nothing for Stuttgart. We've got 2 draws, of course. Leipzig, though, 4-0 win. Their biggest over Stuttgart, scoring 18 goals in those 10 games. 1.80 goals game ratio. We got Stuttgart, who haven't got the win yet. Scored just 3 goals against them in the last 10 games. 0.30 goals game ratio. They come into this on 100% form over the last 6. Stretched back into pre-season. Leipzig opening up with a defeat, of course, to Leverkusen thus far. Last time around in Leipzig, it was a 2-1 win for Leipzig back in January 2023. Of course, Leipzig with a 3-2 loss against Leverkusen. They did pick up the Super Cup against Bayern, so they ain't no slouches, guys. Couple of little tricky wickets for them thus far. However, if you want to look back at the last 4 games for Stuttgart, they haven't conceded a goal. They have played a whole bunch of people. I don't even know, in the German Cup, in a friendly against 1860 Munich, of course, and most recently the victory over Bochum. But the odds right here, right now, we've got 50-8 on is your Leipzig, 7-2 is the draw, 90-4 is your away win, guys. We are going with a 3-0 win for Leipzig, despite the airtight defence Stuttgart have been rocking this summer. So 3-0 for me. Next up, we have Freiburg. They're taking on Werder Bremen, of course. That's coming at you on Samstag, August the 26. My German is just coming at me ears here, boys. Played each other 48 times in 1983. We've got 11 wins for Freiburg, 27 wins for Bremen, 10 draws, of course. Freiburg, biggest win for them, 3-0 win, of course, scoring 62 goals in those 48 games, 1.29 goals game ratio. Up against Bremen, 6-0 win, the biggest, 101 goals scored in those 48 games, and 2.10 goals game ratio. They come into this, though, on woeful form, Bremen, 3 defeats on the spin. Freiburg, though, 58% form for them over the last 6, unbeaten in the last 3. Again, a lot of preseason stuff in that. This is at the Europa Park Stadion, and the last time played each other over at Freiburg. It was a 2-0 win for Freiburg, who are unbeaten against Bremen over the last 4, just 1 defeat the past 6 most recently. Bremen with a 4-0 loss to Bayern most recently. Freiburg 2-1 cheeky away day win against Hoffenheim, of course. The odds right here right now, we're looking at it. We've got Freiburg 6-4 for the victory, 6-4 on, 11-4 is the draw, 4-1 is your away win. We're going to back the host here. Of course we are. Freiburg 1-0 win for them, taking the 3-pointers and moving on. Next we have Köln up against Werder Bremen. That's of course coming at you. That's coming on Samstag as well. Now these two sides played each other 35 times since 1987. We've got 9 wins for Köln, 16 wins for Wolfsburg, and we've got 10 draws, of course. Köln, 67% form for them right now, just 1 defeat, of course, opening up with a defeat most recently. However, had a good pre-season. Their biggest win over Wolfsburg, 3-0 win, scoring 45 goals in those 35 games, 1.29 goals game ratio. Up against Wolfsburg, managed by Niko Kovac. Back-to-back wins for them, of course, heading into this. 6-0 win was the biggest over Köln. 67 goals scored in those 35 games, 1.91 goals game ratio. Last time around, though, in Köln, it was a 2-0 win for Wolfsburg. In fact, the home sides only won once the last 6 between these two sides. That's when Wolfsburg beat Köln in Wolfsburg. The previous encounters have all ended up not in favour of the hosts. Köln, of course, lost to Dortmund most recently. Wolfsburg with a 2-0 win over Heidenheim. Also, yet to concede a goal in the Cup and in the league thus far. The odds, though, for this, we have 13-10 is your Köln, 12-5 is the draw, 2-1 is your away wing. I think Wolfsburg are the real deal here, guys. I think they're going to be in the mix for Europe this season. 2-1 win for them over Köln on the road. Next up, I have Bochum up against Dortmund, of course, coming at you. Also on Saturday, these two sides have played each other 37 times in 1992. We've got 18 wins for Dortmund. We've got 9 wins for Bochum. We've got 10 draws, of course. Biggest win for Bochum, 3-0 win, scoring 45 goals in those 37 games, 1.22 goals game ratio. Up against Dortmund, of course, 5-0 win, their biggest, scoring 68 goals in those 37 games, 1.84 goals game ratio. Of course, Dortmund coming into this on 92% form. Excuse me, winning 5 of the last 6. Bochum, though, 6 defeats on the spin, 0% form for them. Not the greatest build up to the season. Of course, last time around, though, in Bochum, it was a 1-1 draw back in April 2023. So, surprise, surprise. Dortmund opened up with a 1-0 win over Köln. Bochum with a 5-0 loss to Stuttgart. They also lost to Bielefeld in penalties in the German Cup. So, not a great start for them thus far. 6-1 is your Bochum, 11-4 on is your Dortmund. And of course, 4-1 is the draw. We are going 2-0 win for the away side here to take the 3 points and move the bloody chains. That's right. Next up, we have Heidenheim up against Hoffenheim in the battle of the H's, of course. Now, these two sides, according to my eyes, have played each other around about 3 times in 2016. 2 wins for Heidenheim, 1 for Hoffenheim, and we've got 0 draws, of course. Heidenheim, biggest win for them, 1-0 win, scoring 6 goals in those 3 games, 2 goals a game ratio. Up against Hoffenheim, whose biggest win for them, their only win was a 2-0 win. In fact, they've only scored 6 goals as well in those last 3 games, 2 goals a game ratio. Hoffenheim, though, 42% form for them over the last 6. Heidenheim, 75% form for them over the last 6, of course, as they made their return to the Bundesliga. Of course, Heidenheim did open up with a 2-0 loss to Wolfsburg. Prior to that, a big 8-0 demolition job of Rostocker, of course, in the German Cup. Hoffenheim, 2-1 loss to Freiburg. They also beat Lübeck, though, in the German Cup to go through to the next round. The odds right here, right now, we have got the 21-10 is your Heidenheim, 5-4 is your Hoffenheim, 12-5 is your draw. I'm going with a draw here, even bloody Steven. The battle of the H's ends all square. Next, we have Darmstadt up against Union Berlin. That's right, coming at you on Saturday as well. Now, these two sides, according to my eyes, have played each other around about, just thinking about it, 6 times in 2014, 3 for Darmstadt, 1 for Union Berlin, and we have 2 draws, of course. Darmstadt, biggest win for them, 5-0 win, scoring 15 goals in those 6 games, 2.5 goals a game ratio. Against Union Berlin, biggest win for them, 3-1 win, scoring just 9 goals in those 6 games, 1.50 goals a game ratio. So, looking pretty good for the hosts at the moment. They come into this on 17% form, though. Haven't won the last 7 games. So Union Berlin, they're picking up 4 wins on the bounce, 67% form for them heading into this as as well. Last time around at Darmstadt was a 2-1 win for Darmstadt back in May 2019. That was in the Zweite Bundesliga. Of course, Union Berlin, 8 goals scored thus far in the season. That's, of course, in the Cup and in the League. And, of course, Darmstadt, back-to-back defeats, back-to-back games without scoring a goal. So, not great. Crashed out the Cup, lost to Frankie on Matchday number 1. That's right. Of course, coming at you right here, right now, the odds. We have Darmstadt 60-5 for the victory, 2-5 is the draw, 11-10 on is your Union Berlin. 2-1 win for me on the road for Union Berlin. That's right. Next, I've got my boys, Borussia Mönchengladbach up against Bayern Leverkusen. That's, of course, a bit of a zinger. That'll take place late kickoff on Saturday. I played the 59 times in 1992. Got 29 wins for Leverkusen, 11 wins for Gladbach, and we got 19 draws. Gladbach, though, biggest win for them, 3-0 wins, scoring 78 goals in those 59 games, 1.32 goals game ratio. Up against Leverkusen, their biggest win for them over Gladbach, an 8-2 demolition job, 135 goals scored in those 59 games, 2.29 goals game ratio. They come into this 4 wins on the bounce, of course. Leverkusen 67% form for them. Up against Gladbach, 83% form for them at the moment as well. Gladbach, though, haven't lost in the last 11 matches, so that's good, rolling into pre-season. But last time I played each other over at Borussia Park, it was a 3-2 win for Leverkusen back in January 2023. In fact, Gladbach haven't beaten Leverkusen in the last 6 occasions, if not more than that. Gladbach have been scoring goals, though, scoring 11 goals in the last 2 games, 7 in the Cup, 4 in the league. But they did ship before against Augsburg as well. Leverkusen opened up with a 3-2 win over Leipzig. Good win for them. Also an 8-0 demolition job of Fortuna in the Deutsche Cup as well. The odds here, 11-4 is your Gladbach, 11-10 on is your Leverkusen, 11-4 is the draw. 2-1 win for Leverkusen for me on this one. We'll have to see if I'm right or if I'm wrong, of course. Let's go into the next one. It is the Battle of the Badges here. They're very similar badges as mine. It's Frankie. It's, of course, on Sunday, August the 27th. Of course, now these two sides have played each other 40 times since 1996. We've got 10 wins for Mainz, 13 wins for Frankie, and 17 draws, of course. Frankie, 3-0 win for them over Mainz. Of course, their biggest, 55 goals scored in those 40 games, 1.38 goals game ratio. Up against Mainz, 3-0 win, their biggest, 48 goals scored in those 40 games, 1.20 goals game ratio. Of course, heading into this. Mainz, though, 83% form for them right now. Frankie, back-to-back wins for them thus far this season. And last time I played in Mainz, it was a 1-1 draw back in November 2022. Frankfurt, of course, back-to-back clean sheets for them. 7-0 demolition draw over Leipzig, and also 1-0 win over Darmstadt most recently. Mainz with a 1-0 loss, 1-0 win over Elversberg. However, they get spanked by Union Berlin in Berlin most recently. The odds right here, right now, we've got 31-20 is your Mainz, 12-5 is the draw, 13-8 is your away win. I'm back in Mainz here, going with a bit of an upset perhaps against the grain, but of course they are a tricky side to beat Mainz, especially at home. Next up, of course, we have Harry Kane's boys. That's right, Bayern up against Augsburg. That's, of course, coming on Sunday, August the 27th. Now, these two sides have played each other 30 times since 2008, 23 wins for Bayern, 5 wins for Augsburg, and we've got 2 draws, of course. Bayern, biggest win for them, 6-0 win, 73 goals scored in those 30 games, 2.43 goals game ratio. Up against Augsburg, 1-0 win, the biggest, 27 goals scored in those 30 games, 0.90 goals game ratio. They come to this also woeful form, 42% form for them right now without a win in the last 4. Bayern, though, 4 wins in the last 5 games, 67% form for them heading into this. Last time around, though, in Bayern in the Allianz Arena, it was a 5-3 win for Bayern back in March 2023. Bayern, back-to-back wins for them, scoring 10 goals against them last season, but conceding 5. So give them a little bit of credit. Bayern, though, 3-0 loss to Leipzig in the Super Cup, bounced back with a 4-0 win over Bremen. Augsburg out of the Cup already in a big 4-4 draw against Gladbach most recently. But the odds right here, right now, we've got a 12-1 on your Bayern. Of course, a 10-1 is the draw. 20-1 is your Augsburg here. Of course, it's not going to go that way. 3-0 win for the hosts and taking it to the house. Whoa. Here are those results in all their glory, guys. And as you can see, if I'm right, if I'm spot on, we'll show you where we'll be in the table in just a second. This, of course, is the actual link for the SuperBru NWFBSN5S. Of course, it just rolls off the tongue, guys, but it will also be in the description if you're a little bit, if you can't read it, or the QR code does not work. Anyway, guys, that's that. But of course, this is what the table would look like in my eyes. Bayern, of course, be top of the pops there. Of course, 6 out of 6. Then Union Berlin, Wolfsburg, Dortmund, Leverkusen, and Freiburg, as we have a heated Bundesliga for us this season. Of course, Bochum and Werder Bremen going down right now. But that's, my friends, is what I think. Of course, let me know what you think down below. Of course, I look forward to seeing those picks as well, and I look forward to seeing your results in the prediction league. But until then, guys, subscribe, thumbs up, hit the little bell. Of course, we'll be back for Matchday number dry next week. Until then, guys, subscribe, and I'll see you soon for the next one.